Hey Tubes, I'm over here at my buddy Rob's place. He's a machinist, and this old machine shop has been in his family since the 30s. So he's got a lot of interesting stuff here, and most of the stuff you see here has been here since the 30s. What the hell's that thing, Rob? Is that a press?
That is a hydraulic press, 150 ton that my grandfather started to build and never quite got around to finishing it. And no, we haven't needed it in, well, let me see. Well, since it's been here, he started building that in the mid-60s. So if I ever get it so inclined, I have the cylinder for it and everything else to make it go, but there isn't very much big work left that needs something that large.
Yeah, no, it's worth more than scrap metal or anything, yeah.
What
is this, a Famous?
No, that's a 3-horse vertical Fairbanks Morse, 1903.
1903? Yeah, don't undress it too much.
That's okay. It's out here actually so this old repaint peels off. Normally I wouldn't keep something like this out, but
somebody did that. They painted it up.
They put a 1970s paint over the grease, and slowly but surely it's peeling off. So the weather is helping me out here. About a quarter of it's gone. So it's a real nice old dark finish on it here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this was a competitor to the Famous. I think the Famous is a better engine though. Not that I'm partial to International Harvester or nothing.
No, I don't know about that. Alright, let's keep going. A lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff.
Is that your Hercules over there?
Yeah, that's a new addition. This was the latest find. I got an unexpected phone call and a lead, and the 80-year-old guy couldn't find a buyer for it. No museum wanted it, so it came home. Not really something I collect, but pretty nice shape though.
Huh? Is it for sale?
Yeah, it will be when I'm done playing with it for a minute or two. But it 5-horse Hercules, probably about 1917, or not Hercules, Economy. Hercules built Economy.
All original paint too, right?
That's all original. The cart is a Galloway cart. That's not original, and they might have had a Galloway on that farm before this one. So maybe they just saved the wagon. Not really sure how the two got married together, but they've been together for quite a while.
That's pretty cool.
It powered I don't even know what kind it is. It's kind of interesting. It's got a double auger setup inside. A donut flywheel. No name on it or anything. Just casting numbers. I imagine it probably had something stenciled on the wooden hopper. But
what is that, for corn or something?
That's a corn grinder, yeah.
Corn grinder.
So the old boy says they used to use that, and they use this here cordwood saw for firewood with his engine. He remembers using it with his dad when he was a little kid.
That's pretty cool.
So, hey, stuff is still out there, you know, original location.
You got it from an 85-year-old guy, and the guy remembers using it when he was 5-10 years old. Pretty cool.
Now this project over here, this belongs to another collector of mine. This is a Sampson tractor. These are really rare. These were made by General Motors. It was supposed to compete with a Fordson. There's a lot of features that look like a Fordson. Even the clutch in it is actually, you can interchange some of the parts with the Fordson stuff. So apparently they got it from the same supplier. You know, there's a motor stuck in it and needs to be knocked apart.
You know, it's interesting. Something that's so rare like this, someone will rebuild it when there's just this much left of it.
Well, no, the whole thing is here. I mean, the whole tractor's here. He's got a few more pieces at home, but I mean, it sat in the dirt so long. And the really weird thing is, this actually was used new in New Jersey, which is, I don't know. I'm not even sure how it actually got here, because I think these are mostly West Coast tractors. You know, a little bit better than a Fordson in some ways, not so good in others.
Pretty cool. And here's the engine out of that Sampson we just seen over there.
So it's got some stuck valves, some rotted valve seats, and a maybe clean up bore, maybe not. Some tweaking.
Old International M.
Normal M. That's also a friend of mine who was here for a couple of repairs, and got to get around to picking it up.
Storage. We'll charge him storage. Here's something you don't ever see, a Witt log saw engine?
Yeah, drag saw. Saw blades inside. Needs new wood and needs a lot of tweaking.
About what year is that?
About 1925.
What's the deal with the hopper? Oh, because it sits on an angle.
It sits on an angle.
Right.
When you raise it up, it would have had wood runners maybe another 5 feet longer than that.
So the engine would be tilted.
It would sit up on the log, so it would be tilted, and that keep the water sort of level.
Huh.
So
How about
it's got
that?
a clutch on one side. It needs some help.
Yeah. What is this, a Fairbanks Morse?
Fairbanks Morse ZC 346. That's like a Chevy 350 engine in one hole.
Wow.
Only it makes a lot less horsepower. Only it's 18 horse.
With a radiator.
Radiator, yeah. These it's an oil-filled engine. I think you can still buy these brand new as an Arrow. You know, if somebody bought out Fairbanks' line of them, you can still buy a new one. I can't imagine how much it costs. 20, 30 grand or so.
Easy.
You know, so I traded this traded a mill machine for it to a guy in West Virginia because I thought I needed one. I didn't need the mill. I probably wouldn't use either one, but it's been basically a dirt weight since about 2006.
Oh well, it's only going to increase in value.
As long as scrap goes up.
What did you say this was?
3-horse vertical famous, 1912. I actually did a lot of work on this for the guy that owned it before me. And he got it out of a scrap yard. And it was stuck, and you know, knocked the piston loose. Crankshaft was all bent because I guess it had a long fall off a short truck.
Isn't that always how it is?
Like that.
And
so we fixed it all up, and he decided he didn't want it anymore, and it got traded to another guy, and that guy didn't want it anymore, and I don't know why. There's such a nice running engine, so I guess he had to thin out his collection, so I wound up with it. It's one of those. It runs so nice, though. I've had this thing running 12 hours non-stop. You know, it's just such a reliable engine. If it stopped, it's probably out of gas.
Right.
You know.
Did you ever have this at a show I was at?
I think so.
I think I remember seeing it run.
You should have seen this at Jacktown because the kid had it up there for a while.
Yeah.
And I think I had it out to Cool Springs. I had it up to Canandaigua.
I think I remember seeing you work on it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so the problem is, you know, I have 4 of them,
Right.
so I could let this.
That's I mean, they all look the same to me. That's why I didn't know if it was up there.
Well,
or
I
not.
have four exactly like this one. In fact, I have even another one that's the same 1912 and everything about it. You know, so I mean, it would have had a real screen coolant tank and a water pump, but you know, it works all right with the thermal siphon. A lot of them are like that, and, you know. But International really made a nice engine. You know, for hey, you got your money's worth. 1905, no Babbitt, all bronze bearings. You know, heavily built. You know, you got a good deal. So,
okay, let's move on.
all right. Yeah.
Here's another press, manual press. You spin the wheel.
No, it's like
No? Is it really?
Yeah. This is the spin of the wheel. It's just the adjustment for the fine adjustment. And then you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the old pump crapped out, so I put a quarter power cylinder on it.
And what's the deal here with the crank?
It's an arbor press built in the side. It's
on the side?
now. Yeah, you put the handle and the jack handle for one of them.
Combination.
There, and you use an arbor press on the side. Yeah, that's actually pretty common. This press is probably 70 years old.
Pretty cool.
You know, it don't get used much, and if I had more space inside, it'd be inside.
Yeah, this is where it belongs. Here's something you don't see very often too, a mogul.
6-horse mogul. This one, I got this from a collector up in New Hampshire. He had started on it, and he got some of the work done, and then it needed some pretty major stuff. You know, needed the sleeves and all that, so I acquired it, and I got it about 80% done, and then life interfered.
Yeah.
It got pushed aside, and you know, and then just never got back to it. This actually had army green all over it with red paint underneath that. This was all needle scaled off, and this paint's on here is the mogul green wiped on the dark metal with a rag like a stain.
Oh yeah?
So it gives it like a faux finish, antique look. I've done a couple engines like that. I kind of like that rather than the real dolled up shiny finish.
Right. And this is a side shaft, right?
It's a side shaft, yeah. Come around the front, you can see more of those.
Alright, can you come around the front? Yeah, he's doing me a favor by unwrapping all this stuff. You know, he's got this tucked away nicely. How many engines do you think you have combined between the house and here?
Over 60.
60 engines. That's crazy. And these aren't the, you know, the dime a dozen engines. These are rare.
I got some of them too.
Yeah, well, they're the throwaways. Here's the front of the same engine.
I got some assembly work yet to do. The carb's got to go back on. That's all fixed up. That was busted up pretty good, and I need a lot of parts inside. I got a mag for it. I got an igniter all fixed up, and I got an exhaust set up for it. It's had some hard water problems. The head's been all brazed up, and the exhaust box has been brazed up, but that's kind of common on these.
Yeah, I was
things.
gonna say that's routine.
You know, it'd be nice to have one that ain't, but you know, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to a fairly scarce engine. So.
Well, at least it'll be running someday.
Yeah, someday.
That's what it's all about. All right, let's continue on.
Some more stuff here. This is a Deutz Auto.
Auto, that's from Philly, right?
No, actually, this is a German auto.
Oh.
But see, the Deutz factory, I guess, wound up with auto stuff. So I was always unsure of like the years, whether it was like World War I vintage, because I would think they'd be kind of busy with the war, not building engines, but possible. So someplace in the maybe late teens this was made, maybe early 20s.
What are they, about 4.5-foot wheels?
They're 47-inch or something. This belongs to a friend of mine. This is actually getting built into a friction drive tractor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was here for extension on a crankshaft to fit on the tractor and get it running, but it turned out to that the bore wasn't any good in it.
Here we go.
So it's
Deutz.
It's got to get a piston made for it. Honed out, clean some pitting out. It's a throttle governed engine. Vertical governor, kind of a utilitarian type of side shaft engine. It's 8 horsepower.
Yeah, I've never seen one. Never even heard of one.
Well,
I've heard the auto, but I've never heard of the
believe it or not,
Deutz auto.
This is from Germany to Argentina and then back to here.
Wow.
Via Connecticut.
That's crazy.
So it's a real world traveled engine. So there's a couple of YouTubes on Deutz Autos, so if anybody wants to see one run,
they're out there.
Huh. Yeah, that mag is actually a K&W high bar. It's American mag. I made an adapter to make that work on here and all the drive stuff, because originally would have had some kind of Bosch something or other, but the trip stuff was all missing, so we had to adapt.
Pretty cool.
American auto.
All right, we're inside the garage here of his. This was your grandfather's, your great grandfather's
farm. My mom has it now. She lives in the house. This house is 1750.
Oh wow! Look at that. The original louvers up there, vents.
Nah, that's the modern. The house itself had a major going through in the early 50s. It didn't have any indoor plumbing until the early 50s.
Huh.
My mom lived here when she was pretty small. Then they moved around a couple places and they came back.
And then they added this garage on?
This garage. Where else can you have a 1750 Colonial with a cinder block garage addition on it?
I know.
And
it looks like they did it in the 50s though, right?
It was done 1951. This was done. Right. I never noticed until it got paid cleaned up that my grandparents, they put their name in here. Sally Kudrell.
Huh. Look at that.
And over on this side here.
Autographed the barn.
Autographed there. And here it's Tony Kudrell. It's underneath the wood here, but I never know. My mom never noticed that either. They signed it when they did that, because when they were fixing the house, they actually lived in the garage part. This got built up because there's a tile floor in the one section. And they lived in there while they were fixing the house in the early 50s.
So right now you're just using this for storage.
Yeah, it's storage.
Look at this thing. This thing looks rare.
Yeah, this is another auto. This is a 5-horse American-made auto.
Right.
This was my grandfather's.
They're the ones from Philly, right?
They're the ones from Philly. Yeah.
Okay, auto.
So this it's one of the better engines.
Wow. Side shaft.
Side shaft. You have vertical governor, hit and miss, controlling the fuel. It's Colombian style auto. The design came out in 1894. Which is, it's an auto name. The relatives of Otto actually designed it, but he didn't have. Nicholas Otto, the 4-cycle inventor, didn't have too much of a hand in it, other than some of the ideas. But they said the family sort of built it, and it's an American-built auto.
Wow, what the size of that? Grinder. And what's that? What's this on the ground here?
This is an Ingersoll Rand inline air compressor.
Oh.
So that's, I don't know if it's the smallest one they made, but it's one of the smaller ones they made. Because those things can get big, up to maybe 10 feet long or something with 6-foot flywheels.
Right.
So that's a lot of iron, that little piece, though.
You don't own this one. You're working on this one?
That's mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's been in the family since, I don't know, late 40s.
Wow.
Grandfather used to run a machine shop with it. Not here. We had a little shop over in a couple towns over when he come back from World War II. He used to work at a machine shop job, and at nighttime he'd take work on the side, and he'd run a lathe and a milling machine with that. just in a garage.
That's what's cool about your stuff, Rob. It's got a story behind it. You know, it's not just an engine.
Yeah, well, this engine originally powered an organ blower in a church. So,
Oh, that's fun. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to go to church there.
yeah, I don't know if you could hear the engine through the organ blower or
Yeah,
what, but
come home with a collapsed lung and you're at the right place.
yeah.
Oh,
So it's about 1906.
Wow.
You know.
All right.